Fish eyes? Where did that come from? Oh my gosh. Gotta get that practice in six, right? Oh god. Oh yeah. Next one. Right here. Let's go on the course like that. Ready? Watch this. Yeah, I know. I know which one you're talking about. That's how you build it.
Thankfully, I have all cameras for a volleyball. Feel free, you know. I'm sure you've got a new camera and insurance.
Yeah, bad. Like you're not nice to people? Oh, a cam broadcast. Like the Manning cast on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Which I like, but then
That's unusual. That is new. He has a tattoo?
half, yeah.
Oh. I don't even know if it's happening. It's like yeah. I don't know if it's like third. It's for inclement weather.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Two.
Cam, are you flexing a shot?
Four, get their servers. Four. shots. 4's on the flag. 2 is on their team. Their team during the end. 3 is on our team during the end. 1's different. All right, guys. We're camera sound on, so we have like and they go in now. No, more about the game. Being good at sports and
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fort Bend Christian Academy for tonight's game featuring the St. Michael's Catholic Academy Crusaders and your Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles! Please, by our own Eagles on the air. If you have friends, family, or loved ones who can't be here, text them to go to www.fbca.tv to watch. FBCA tests promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and fans. We request your cooperation in supporting the student athletes and officials in a positive manner. The game will be conducted according to the rules of the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools. The officials were selected with the consent of both schools, and their rulings should be respected by all spectators, no matter which team they are backing. Profanity, derogatory comments, or intimidating actions directed at athletes, officials, team representatives, or other fans will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We appreciate your cooperation in creating a safe and positive game environment. Please encourage them by your cheers, your applause, and your good sportsmanship. Just a reminder that following the conclusion of tonight's game, all spectators will need to exit the facility promptly. Spectators and parents will be able to reunite with their student athletes outside of the FBCA facility. At this time, we would like everyone to rise as we give thanks to our Lord and Savior. And following the prayer, we ask that you continue to stand for the playing of our national anthem. Would you bow with me for a word of prayer? Father in heaven, we ask your blessings on this game that is about to begin. Give these athletes the courage to play this game in a manner which by our words and our actions is pleasing to you. Let us enter into competition in the spirit of sportsmanship and with respect for the members of both teams and officials. Keep us under the protection of your Son, Jesus Christ, and help us be aware of his presence with us tonight as we move through the remainder of our week ahead. It is in your name that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Right. 4.
Now for tonight's sponsors. First, the visitors from St. Michael's Academy Crusaders.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of Fort Bend Christian Academy Volleyball as the Eagles take on the St. Michael's Crusaders tonight here in the playoffs. My name is Derek Jordan, here with my co-host
Jackson Champion, and we are in for a great playoff matchup. Eagles taking on the Crusaders. Eagles get the home court here as they went undefeated in their district play, 14-0, taking on St. Michael's, who went 11-4 in district play.
Absolutely, Jackson. Fort Bend Christian Academy with a 31-4 record overall, and St. Michael's was a 16-13 record overall. Crusaders here on a 4-game win streak as the announcer introduces the starting lineup for St. Michael's. Number 0, Connolly McWilliams. Number 3, Lily Watkins. Number 5, Calla Tufto. Number 7, Maggie Lewis. Number 8, Avery Lindsay. Number 9, Bella Tony. Number 10, Lily Catherine Valerie. Number 12, Maura Mooney. Number 13, McKenna Villalobos. Number 15, Gabriella Spellings. Number 20, Shannon Uri. Number 21, Hannah Bergfeld. And number 25, Rainey Clark.
Eagles are currently getting introduced right now. Number 1, Hadley Hodge. 2, Sarah Weber. 3, Shay Stone. 4, Lily Baker. 5, Sophia Vreeland. 6, Lainey Brown. 7, Reagan Heflin. 8, Avery Hodge. 9, Lane Bulow. 10, Bailey Minor. Number 11, Oiken Sola. Number 13, Cassie Marcourt. And number 20, senior Bailey Hanner.
Looking for a great game here tonight, Jackson. What are some keys for the Eagles to be successful here tonight?
Eagles have done this entire season passing the ball really well and communicating really well. When they're passing the ball, making solid passes, communicating well with each other between the front and the back lines is when they have their most success. Racing out to an early lead here in this first set and setting the tone will be crucial to having the overall momentum the entire game.
Momentum's been a key thing for the Eagles so far this year. When they come out hot, they can typically get on a roll and be successful early on in the set, which leads to success later on in the set and in the game as a whole. So far this year, the Eagles have been getting out to early leads with 1-0 leads, 2-0 leads, and in those sets, they're typically pulling away very early on. You see hot starts, big plays from Lane Bulow, Bailey Hanner, and Reagan Heflin. All around, just great teamwork from the Eagles, and they really look like they're having fun when they're out there playing.
And this is now playoff season, so it's win or go home for both of these teams. Both these teams got to win and to move on and advance to the next round. So it's going to be a huge deal to win this game and move on for the Eagles as they have state title aspirations for this year after going undefeated and winning the district.
And like you said, Jackson, after winning the district, they definitely do have some high hopes for these playoffs, looking to go all the way to that state championship. And that's definitely something that this Eagle team can do. They have the St. Michael's Crusaders in front of them today as the Crusaders look to stop the Eagles from achieving that goal. Eagles coming off a first-round bye in playoffs. The Crusaders did get a win earlier on in the tournament. Eagles looking to take down the Crusaders tonight. Action getting ready to start as the line judges will take their spots. Referees will have some final deliberations. And we're looking to get this game underway.
Every time one of our girls serves on her, or if you're not on the serve, get our coaching or get our
Stat leaders tonight for the Eagles. On the season, Bailey Hanner leads the Eagles in kills with 444. Reagan Heflin leads the team in assists with 515. Bailey Minor leads the team in blocks with 52, and Lane Bulow leads the team with aces with 82. Some stats to keep in mind and try to count on home as the playoff run begins this right here.
The Eagles playing their final few games with seniors Bailey Hanner, Avery Hodge, Reagan Heflin, and Lily Baker. And those four have just been such a critical part of this team so far this year. What are the Eagles going to be missing after those four graduate? They're no longer on this team. How are the Eagles going to stay strong going into next season?
Well, the Eagles are going to be losing a lot of leadership from that four, as three of those four start in Reagan Heflin, Bailey Hanner, and Avery Hodge. So it's going to be a lot of turnover, but still, this Eagles team has tons of talent in the junior, sophomore, and freshman ranks where they're absolutely not worried about it at all. They'll have plenty of time to work forward towards next year, but the focus now is on this playoff run and winning the state title for these seniors. So the Eagles have really got to stay focused and continue to do what they've been doing all season, and they'll come out with another win tonight.
St. Michael's number 25, Rainey Clark, back to serve for St. Michael's. And we're underway. Hit by Bailey Hanner, and that's going to be a point for St. Michael's as the Eagles cannot return that.
Seemed to be out of position right there at the start, and it was a perfectly placed serve that Hanner just couldn't get to there. You can see it, they'll line up in a different formation here to try and receive the serve better.
Early lead for the Crusaders is Chance coming from the St. Michael's bench. She's just a freshman. She'll serve again. Hit up by Hanner, set by Heflin, and hit by Sarah Weber. Off the ceiling and out of bounds on the return from the Crusaders, and that will be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy. Number 9, the ace, Lane Beulah, will be back to serve. And like we said early on, Lane Beulah leads his team in aces, and she's been by far the best server on this team. She'll serve, hit by the libero, and return from St. Michael's. Hit by Lane Beulah, set by Reagan Heflin, and hit by Bailey Hanner, and that's going to be a point for the Eagles.
That's Bailey Hanner's first kill of the night, and she'll add to her total on the season as she has upwards of 400 kills, as we mentioned. Now that's kill number 445 on the season, and she has over 1,000 career kills at Fort Bend, which is an amazing stat.
Serve from Bulow, and that ball is going to have too much on it, and it will soar out of bounds. St. Michael's ties it up. Number 12, Laura Mooney, is going to be back to serve. We're tied here in set number 1. Serve from Mooney, hit by Avery Hodge, set by Heflin, and hit by Bailey Miner, and that's going to be a kill for the freshman, number 10.
Bailey Miner has done a great job getting kills for the Eagles this year. She's not far behind Hanner in that race for leading the team in kills. She's a very tall player for the Eagles at a freshman, and she's going to be a very key player going forward the next couple of years.
Owen Consola will check in for Bailey Miner. Avery Hodge with a serve, just misses it, and that ball goes into the net.
Uncharacteristic serve there from Hodge. She's one of the best servers on the team. She's the libero. She plays all around. So it's interesting to see a serve that goes right into the net there.
Serve from libero number 3 for St. Michael's. Set by Hodge, hit over by Hanner. And Shader's going to have a hard time returning that, and that's going to be a point for Fort Bend Christian.
Seemed the St. Michael's just were out of position there on that hit over by Hanner, just couldn't retrieve the ball well. Stone's going to check in here for Weber as she's going to be back to serve. One of the best servers on the team, Stone is.
Shea Stone back to serve. Barely makes it over the net. That's going to be hit and set by Shader and tipped over, out of bounds by number 12, Nora Mooney from the Crusaders, and that'll be another point for Fort Bend Christian.
Heads up play there by the seniors, Avery Hodge and Hanner, not to go after that ball as it was going out of bounds, and let that go and get the easy point.
Stone back to serve once again. Hit, set, and hit over by the Crusaders. That's going to be set by Stone and hit by Bailey Hanner, but too much on it, and that ball will go out of bounds. That'll be another point for the Crusaders.
Eagles believe that ball was tipped at the net and hit at the net, and that should be a point for the Eagles, but the refs do not call, and they'll give the point to the Crusaders. Score is 5-4 now for the Eagles, but the Eagles are still in the lead.
Cala Tufto back to serve, and that ball goes into the net. That will be another point for Fort Bend Christian as they lead 6-4 here early in set number 1. Number 20, Bailey Hanner, will be back to serve.
Hanner, a senior, could be playing in a potential last game, so she's looking to leave it all out on the court for the Eagles and give it her best.
Serve from Hanner, makes it over the net. Set by the Crusaders and hit over, but blocked at the net by Oren Consola, making the score 7-4 in favor of Fort Bend Christian Academy.
Eagles starting to pull away here, up by 3 here, and this is where the Eagles can really make a run here with Hanner back serving.
Serve from Hanner makes it over the net. Hit by number 12, set and hit over by number 13 for the Crusaders. That's McKenna Villalobos with the kill for the Crusaders.
Great kill there by number 13, McKenna. Really strong there, a lot of power on that. And the Eagles just couldn't catch up with that one.
Number 11 for the Crusaders, back to serve. The ball makes it over the net, hit by Bailey Hanner, set by Shea Stone. And hit over by Lane Bulow. That's going to be set by a crew of Crusaders. Hit over by the Villalobos. Set from Stone and tipped over by Lincoln Sola. Set by the libero and set again by the Crusaders. Hit over and attempt to block it at the net from Reagan Heflin. Ends up with the ball landing on the Eagles side, and that will be a point for the Crusaders.
That point just seemed to be off after the weird set by Stone. I couldn't tell if Bulow was out of position or if Stone set the ball in the wrong spot.
11 back to serve once again. Set by Stone to Hanner. Hanner hits it over, and Crusaders will be able to return that. That's going to be hit up by Bailey Hanner. Set from Stone. And tipped over from Lane Bulow. Crusaders return. Hit over by Shea Stone. It's going to be set by libero number 3 and hit over once again. And a hit from Shea Stone gets in the way of Bailey Hanner. And that's going to be another point as the Crusaders tie this game at 7. Hadley Hodge will enter the game for number 3, Shea Stone.
As I mentioned, the Eagles looking to build early momentum, but right as I say that, the Crusaders come right back into the game and tie it up after being down by 3.
Another serve from number 11, and that ball goes into the net. Momentum shift there for the Eagles. Eagles lead 8-7 here in set number 1. Number 6, Lainey Brown will check into the game. She'll be back to serve. Serve from Brown makes it over the net. Set by number 8. Hit over and blocked at the net. Oh, but they're going to say that the Lane Bulow crossed the line right there, and that will be a point for the Crusaders as they tie the game at 8.
Yeah, it was an interesting call there by the refs. Some of the people on the fourth bench side didn't necessarily agree with it, but it'll be a tie game now, 8-8.
Villalobos back to serve. Hit by Bailey Hanner, set by Reagan Heflin. Hit by Bailey Minor, but that ball is blocked by the Crusaders, giving the Crusaders the lead here early in set number 1. They have it 9-8.
Big time block there by the sophomore for the Crusaders. They take the lead here in this first set.
Villalobos back to serve once again. Hit by Bailey Hanner, set by Reagan Heflin. And hit over by Bailey Hanner. That was a lot of power, and that ball dropped after hitting the ceiling. The Crusaders off balance, couldn't get to that ball. The Eagles will tie the game at 9.
Sarah Weber will check back into the game for Hadley Hodge as she plays just a couple points. Reagan Heflin, the senior, back to serve for the Eagles.
Heflin with the serve, makes it over the net. Set by Crusader and hit over. But blocked at the net by the Eagles, but unfortunately that ball lands on the Eagles side, making the score 10-9 in favor of St. Michael's early on in set number 1.
Very competitive game so far throughout the first set, as both teams have been going back and forth. As we approach the midway point of this set, it'll be interesting to see who can pull away here.
Rainey Clark back to serve. Hit by Bailey Hanner. Set from Reagan Heflin. Bailey Minor barely makes it over the net. That's going to be hit over and blocked at the net by Bailey Minor, giving the Eagles the points, tying the game at 10. Number 9, the freshman, Lane Bulow, will be back to serve as number 3, the libero for St. Michael's, has some words with the ref.
The coach appears to be talking about one of the Fort Bend players who's on the back row coming up and getting the ball. She's going back and forth between her coach and the ref, and now both the refs will come together and deliberate over the call.
Crusaders looking to challenge that play, I believe, as they believe that that should be their points, getting the score 11-9 in favor of St. Michael's.
2.
After some deliberation between the referees, they will give the point to St. Michael's. The challenge will work. The Crusaders will be back to serve. Rainey Clark will take the ball once again. The score is 11-9 in favor of St. Michael's. Set from Reagan Heflin. Hit by Lane Bulow. It's going to be set by the Crusaders. Hit over and out of bounds by the Crusaders, and that's going to be 4 touches from St. Michael's, giving the Eagles the point. Score will be 10-11. Bulow back to serve. Hit, set, and hit over from the Crusaders, and the Eagles cannot get to that ball. It's going to be another point from St. Michael's.
Heflin just seemed to miss that kill there from St. Michael's, and it's really got the Eagles behind here now by 2 points, and Eagles need to find some momentum to try and get back in this one.
Number 12, Nora Mooney back to serve. Hit from Bailey Hanner. set by Reagan Heflin. Hit over from Tanner, but that ball is going to be out of bounds. And the Eagles look off balance here. They really need to flip the switch and find some momentum if they're going to get back in this game. St. Michael's leads 13-10.
The Eagles really just got to get back to the basics. Really got to start communicating better and making better passes, and it'll all start falling into place for them.
Mooney with the serve, hit by Avery Hodge, hit by Heflin, and hit over by Lane Bulow. Set from the Crusaders, and that's going to be hit, but blocked at the net by Sarah Weber and Bailey Miner. Really switching the momentum for the Eagles. It appears number 8, Avery Hodge, will be back to serve.
And that's exactly the momentum swing the Eagles needed to try and build some momentum and try to build a comeback here to take the lead after now being down by 2 points.
Hodge with a serve, and that's going to be an ace for Avery Hodge. She put that ball where no Crusader was, making the score 12-13 as the Eagles inch closer to closing out that lead.
Great serve there from Hodge.
Serve from Hodge. That's going to be hit, set, and return from the Crusaders. Hit by Lane Bulow, set by Reagan Heflin. Hit over by Bailey Hanner, and that ball's going to go out of bounds after the block attempt from the Crusaders, making the score 13-13. Eagles on a roll here with Avery Hodge serving the ball. She'll serve again. Hit, set, and returned by the Crusaders. That's going to be set from Heflin. Hit over from Bailey Hanner, and they're going to be able to return that. Set from Avery Hodge, set from Reagan Heflin, tipped over by Sarah Weber. Crusaders set and tip over. Reagan Heflin with the return, and that ball is going to go out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Crusaders.
Miraculous play there by the Crusaders to save the ball as it seemed to be falling to the ground after the kill attempt by the Eagles, and that really saved the point there for the Crusaders and got them the lead here again.
Lily Watkins back to serve for the Crusaders. Barely makes it over the net. Set from Oregon Sola and hit over by Sarah Weber. Set and tipped over. Set by Avery Hodge. Set from Reagan Heflin. And huge hit from Bailey Hanner. And that ball goes off the basketball goal, changing direction. And Lily Watkins couldn't get to it.
Seemed one of the Crusaders just lost the ball in the air and couldn't seem to focus on the ball, and that would be aimlessly fall to the ground as the Eagles tie the game here at 14 apiece.
Number 3, Shea Stone back to serve for the Eagles. Serve from Stone is hit up and unable to be returned from the Crusaders. Great serve there from Shea Stone. She's been a critical piece of this Eagle team, and she recently just recorded her 1,000th career assist, which is a huge milestone for Shea Stone. Eagles have the lead 15-14. Stone serves again. Hit, set, return from the Crusaders. Hit by Lane Bulow, set from Shea Stone, and a huge hit from Baylor Hanner that falls out of bounds. Crusaders tie the game here at 15.
Back to Shea Stone. A couple weeks ago, she got her 1,000th career assist on senior night, so a huge and emotional night for her. It was also an emotional night for this team. So all around a great team win over Bish and a great night for all the Eagle volleyball players.
Serve from the Crusaders, and Lane Bulow can't get that ball up, and that's going to be a point for the Crusaders. Score here is 16-15. Crusaders have the lead over the Eagles here in 7-1.
Back and forth here in this first set throughout all points, and it's 10 points away for the next team to win the set, so it's going to get interesting here.
Kalatufto with the serve, and that ball goes into the net. It's going to be a point for the Eagles, and the Eagles to tie the game at 16. Number 20, Bailey Hanner back to serve. Eagles look to pull away from the Crusaders. Hanner with the serve. Great serve from Hanner. Hit by number 11, set. And return from the Crusaders. Hit by Avery Hodge, set by Stone. And Lane Bulow with a huge hit over that is returned by the Crusaders and hit over and out of bounds on the return from the Crusaders. It's going to be a point for the Eagles.
Great awareness again by the Eagles to let that ball go and not go after it. It gets the easy point for the Eagles and gets them the lead back.
Tanner back to serve once again. Serve from Tanner is hit by the Crusaders, set by number 8 and hit over by 13. And on the block attempt from the Eagles, that ball will sail out of bounds, tying the game at 17.
Eagles really starting to get in the groove here and starting to communicate better and pass the ball better. I think it's going to lead to some easy points here for the Eagles and take the lead.
Huge hit from Bailey Hanner right there, which will lead to a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy. as that ball bounces off the basketball goal and changes direction as the Crusaders could not return that ball. Number 6, Laney Brown, will check into the game, looking to close out this set. The Eagles just 7 points away from winning set number 1. Serve from Brown, hit up, set by 8, and hit over. That's going to be hit by Shea Stone, set by Reagan Heflin, and hit over by Lane Buelow, but blocked at the net. And the Crusaders will tie the game at 18. Number 13, McKenna Villalobos, will be back to serve for the Crusaders. Villalobos with the serve. Hit from Lane Buelow, set by Stone, and spiked by Bailey Minor. What a kill shot from the freshman, number 10, to really flip the switch for the Eagles and give this Eagles team some momentum.
And Minor really got up there, showing just how great her vertical is and her ability to get up on that front line and really kill the ball into the ground and give it no chance for the Crusaders to return it.
And like you said, just showing the athleticism there from Bailey Minor. Number 7, Reagan Heflin, will be back to serve. Good serve from Heflin is hit very far into Crusader territory. Return, and Lane Buelow with a hit that is returned by the Crusaders. And the Crusaders barely get the ball over. Set but from Reagan Heflin, hit by Lane Buelow. The Crusaders will set and return. Hit by Bailey Hanner. Set from Reagan Heflin, tipped over by Bailey Minor. That's going to be a huge hit from the Crusaders, and Avery Hodge can't return that ball. Unfortunately, just lost it. The ball might have changed direction right there.
Amazing volley by both sides as it seemed to be the other team's point at so many other different times. Just a miscue by Hodge, a rare one, and just gave the point to St. Michael's. They tied the game right back up at 19.
Randy Clark back to serve for the Crusaders, and this set is coming down to the wire. Really a back and forth game so far. It's going to be served, hit from Hanner, set by Stone, and Hanner will hit that ball back over. Set from Clark, and that's tipped over, and that'll be a point for the Crusaders as they take the lead 20-19 here in set number 1.
Crusaders just 5 points away from closing out this first set. The Eagles really need to start communicating better in order to make a comeback here to score 6 more points.
Clark with the serve, hits the net. Avery Hodge with the set, and it's going to be returned by Lane Buelow. Set by Libero, set from Clark, and tipped over. Hit from Reagan Heflin, set by Avery Hodge, and hit over by Sarah Weber. That's a great kill from number 2, the junior.
And that kill really gets the crowd involved, as that may just be what the Eagles need here, as the crowd has been kind of silent on the Eagles side so far, but that just may be the play that gets them the momentum they need.
Buelow with the serve that goes into the net, giving the Crusaders the lead 21-20.
Rare misserve there by the freshman Buelow. She leads the team in aces, usually one of the most consistent servers on the team for the Eagles.
Serve from number 12 for the Crusaders. That's going to be hit, set, and hit over from Bailey Minor, giving the Eagles some momentum that they need. And these last few points have been so back and forth between the Crusaders and the Eagles. The Eagles looking to pull away late in the set.
Bailey Minor with her 3rd kill of the night, really starting to build some momentum here for the Eagles, and she's just a freshman, and she's so talented.
Number 8, Avery Hodge, back to serve for the Eagles. Serve makes it over the net, hit by the libero, set and tipped over, and the Eagles won't be able to return that ball. Crusaders once again will take the lead.
Beautiful play there by Cala Tufto, just placing the ball perfectly where none of the Eagles were expecting it. Really great tip over, and that's going to lead to a timeout for the Eagles.
Eagles look to regroup here as they are down 21-22 late in set number 1. We'll be right back.
2. A little bit wider. A little bit wider. Right there.
Welcome back, fans, to this volleyball game between Fort Bend Christian Academy and St. Michael's Crusaders. The Crusaders have an early lead here in set number 1, the score of 22-21. This set has been a nail-biter for both sides as it's been a back-and-forth matchup all the way through. Libero Lily Watkins back to serve for the Crusaders as Crusaders look to close this out. Serve, hit by Lane Bulow, set from Reagan Heflin, and a huge hit from Bailey Hanner that will go out of bounds. Eagles tie it at 22, and the substitution will be made for the Eagles.
3 points away for both teams. It's going to come down to the wire. This is exactly why you watch volleyball, for moments like these. Playoff volleyball, this can't get much more exciting than this.
Shea Stone, number 3, back to serve, and she's been so good for the Eagles this year. That ball's going to be hit, set by the Crusaders, and hit over and blocked at the net. But the Crusaders keep it up. Tipped over, and the Eagles can't get to that one. The Crusaders take a 23-22 lead.
Beautifully placed tip yet again, as the Crusaders have done that all night, really placing their tips well, really being particular with them, and really attacking the teeth of the Eagles' defense, where they have a lot of holes between the front line, going up for the block and the back line.
Calatufto back to serve. That's going to be hit from Lane Bulow, set by Shea Stone. Huge hit from Bailey Hanner that will bounce off the speaker. Hit from number 8 and returned from the Crusaders. Wow, Avery Hodge with a set. Bailey Hanner hits it over. It's going to be set by number 8. Hit over for the Crusaders, and that ball will go out of bounds. That will be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy, tied at 23 once again. And Bailey Hanner will be back to serve for the Eagles.
The Eagle crowd really starting to get loud here, really starting to feel the anticipation. This gym is really rocking.
Hanner with the serve. 11 with the hit, 8 with the set, and 11 with a huge hit over, blocked at the net. Hit by Bailey Hanner after the return. Shea Stone with the set. Reagan Heflin returns that. Set from number 8 and tipped over, and the Eagles can't get to it. The Crusaders take a 24-23 lead. This set has been back and forth this whole way through. Crusaders just 1 point away from taking a 1-0 set lead here in this game.
Crusaders can feel it as they're just 1 point away, and as the Eagles will call yet another timeout. And we'll be back after a short break.
Welcome back to tonight's production of Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles on the Air. Eagles down 23-24 here in set number 1. St. Michael's Crusaders just 1 point away from closing out this game. Closing out this set, I apologize. Number 11 with the serve. Hit from Lane Bulow, set by Shea Stone. And hit from Lane Bulow. And that's going to be a point for the Eagles as this set will come down to the final point. Number 8, Avery Hodge will check out of the game as number 6, Lainey Brown, will be on to serve as the Eagles look to take this final point.
Brown, one of the best servers for the Eagles, so they've got to have her in this particular moment.
Brown with the serve, hit by Libero, set from number 8, hit over and blocked by the Eagles, and that will be a point for the Crusaders.
Crusaders needing 1 more point to win the set, as you got to win by 2 here.
Crusaders lead 25-24. Number 13, McKenna Villalobos back to serve. Hit from Lane Bulow. Set from Bailey Hanner and hit over by Lane Bulow. That's going to be set by number 8 and hit over. Hit by Bailey Hanner to save it. Shea Stone with a set and a huge hit from Bailey Minor. Hit by Lane Bulow, set by Stone and hit by Bailey Minor. Set from number 8. Tipped over. Set by Shea Stone. Hit by Avery Hodge and hit over by Lane Bulow. Great hit. Number 8 with the set. That's going to be hit by Lane Bulow, but unfortunately the Eagles will go down 1-0 as the Crusaders take a 26-24 first set win.
Back and forth between both sides here in that first set.
And the Eagles wanted a violation on the Crusaders from that play. They believe that the Crusaders crossed the net, and several Eagles fans are not happy about that no call.
It was a really, really close set to start out. So if we get, I'd imagine if the rest of the game continues out like that, we'll be here for 4 more sets. We'll be back after a short break as the Crusaders lead 1-0.
Oh, the Philly Scout team? Dude, they're cold. Which ones? The good ones? Bro, Cam, are you nice? Cam, you fuck gas up.
Yes, you
Cam, you would choke, like straight up, that would go straight down. Seconds, Derek. My apologies.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's production of the volleyball game between the Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles and the St. Michael's Crusaders. In case you missed the first set, St. Michael's did win the first set by a score of 26-24. Eagles looking to flip the switch and get some momentum back here in set number 2. Jackson, what do the Eagles need to fix in order to be successful here later in this game?
Eagles really weren't able to set up some huge kill opportunities for their star players and Bailey Hanner and Bailey Miner and Lane Bulow. The Eagles have got to start passing the ball well early on when they get the ball so they can set up some really big points and easy kills, and that's going to lead to a lot more easy points for the Eagles and making it hard, a lot more pressure on the Crusaders to return the ball.
The Eagles just need to eliminate some mistakes as Reagan Heflin will serve. It's going to be hit by a crew of Crusaders, and Bailey Miner will reach over the net to hit that ball, and that's going to be a point for the Crusaders as they'll take an early 1-0 lead.
Miner reached over the net, but I can't tell if Alex Evers is necessarily happy with that call.
Number 12 back to serve. Hit from Bailey Hanner. Set by Reagan Heflin and hit over by Bailey Hanner. That was a huge kill shot from number 20 right there.
And
her third kill of the night.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about in setting up some easy kill opportunities, as getting your star players going, Bailey Hanner especially, can really open up this game for the Eagles.
Lane Bueller with the serve. Set by a crew of Crusaders. Attempt to hit over is blocked at the net by Bailey Miner and Sarah Weber. Huge momentum shift for the Eagles.
Big play for the Eagles. That got everybody off their feet as the Eagles race out to a 2-1 lead here. Exactly what they need to start this game.
The freshman Lane Bueller will be back to serve once again for the Eagles. The Eagles look to pull away early in this set. Bueller with the serve. Hit and set by some Crusaders, and that's going to be hit over by the Crusaders. That'll be another point as the Crusaders tie the game early on at 2.
Great passing there by the Crusaders to set up a great kill shot. That's exactly what's led to their first set victories. They've been passing the ball really well, better than the Eagles so far.
And the Crusaders just have made a few less mistakes than the Eagles, and that is what won them the first set. Number 3 will be back to serve for the Crusaders. Lane Buelow with the return. Crusaders quickly return it. Heflin and Hodge with the set. Hit over by Hanner. And that ball will not be returned by the Crusaders. That will be another point for Fort Bend Christian.
Amazing point there, but amazing dive by Avery Hodge that really saved the point. If it weren't for that amazingly athletic play, the Eagles would be down here 3-2.
Hodge with the serve, and that ball will go into the net. That's Hodge's second missed serve of the night. One came early on in set number 1 and one early on in set number 2. Rare mistake from Avery Hodge.
Hodge has had a couple rare mistakes that she usually never has, and it may be more of a mental thing, but she's usually spot on for the Eagles.
Number 5, Kala Tufto back to serve for the Crusaders. That's going to be hit by Bailey Hanner, and that ball will not be returned by the Eagles. The Crusaders will take the lead 4-3 early on in set number 2.
St. Michael's looking to duplicate what they did in the first set. But so far, first set was back and forth, so it looks like we're being in for another back and forth set in the second one.
Tufto back to serve once again. Hit by Bailey Hanner, set from Reagan Heflin. Hit over by Oinkinsola, and they are not going to be able to return that ball as Kala Tufto made the attempt to return it, but unfortunately that ball goes out of bounds. The Eagles will tie the game at 4. Number 3, Shea Stone will check into the game to serve, and she'll be back to serve once again. Stone, a critical piece of the Eagles' close set with the Crusaders in the first set. She'll serve. Set from number 8, and huge hit from Lane Buelow. Set from Stone and hit by Bailey Hanner. Another great kill from Hanner right there. The Eagles passing the ball well here in set number 2. The score is 5-4 in favor of Fort Bend Christian Academy. Number 3, Shea Stone will be back to serve once again. Stone with the serve. Hit, set, and hit over by the Crusaders. That ball will go right off of Shea Stone as that ball had some velocity on it. Crusaders will tie the game at 5.
Back and forth so far, as we've said. And going into this game, we knew it would be back and forth, so it's going to be interesting to see if any team can try and find a spark and pull away.
And after a volley, Bailey Hanner will get another huge kill shot right there, giving the Eagles some momentum. The score is now 6-5 in favor of the Eagles, and Bailey Hanner will be back to serve once again after the kill shot.
Hanner's got 5 kills on the night, and she's looking to get a lot more if the Eagles want to win this tonight.
Aid with the set and hit over by the Crusaders off the ceiling, and that ball will come down out of bounds on the Eagles side, and that will be a point for the Crusaders. Once again, just a really back and forth matchup between these two teams. This is exactly how the first set went. Neither team really able to pull away. Set, serve from number 12, hit by Lane Buelow, set by Bailey Hanner, and hit over by Reagan Heflin. Set by number 8 and tipped over by the Crusaders, and that play has worked so well for them all night as the Eagles cannot return that ball.
The Crusaders seem to just be all in sync with each other. The Eagles just seem to not be able to find a rhythm, be able to communicate well, and that was a key coming in the game, being able to communicate. The Eagles have not been able to do that as well as the Crusaders.
Serve from number 13, McKenna Villalobos goes into the net, making the game 7-7 in set number 2. And in case you missed it, Crusaders did take set number 1 by a score of 26-24.
Brown back to serve for the Eagles.
Brown with the serve that makes it over the net. Crusaders having a rough time returning that, and they will get it over. Hadley Hodge hits to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Bailey Miner, and Bailey Miner with a huge hit that is returned by the Crusaders. Hit from Laney Brown, set by Reagan Heflin. A huge hit from Lane Buelow. That's going to be passed around by the Crusaders and tipped over. Lane Buelow unable to get to that ball, and that will be another point for the Crusaders.
Great volley there between both teams. It seemed to be the Eagles' point so many times off of the amazing hit over by Miner. But Crusaders kept on fighting and kept on making good passes and really saved the point for them.
Some substitutions will be made for the Crusaders, and Rainey Clark will be back to serve. That's going to be hit by Bailey Hanner, set from Heflin. And a huge kill shot from Bailey Miner, and she has just been so good tonight. She has 4 kills on the night, just behind Bailey Hanner's 5.
Those two have really been the focal point of the Eagles' offense tonight, really racking up the kills. And that's what the Eagles are going to have to turn to so far if nobody else can really get anything going.
And the Eagles are passing the ball around better in set number 2. Heflin will serve. Set from Rainey, and that ball will be blocked at the net. Lane Bulow with the return. Oh, and that ball will fall on Fort Bend Christian Academy's side, making the score 9-8. Crusaders have the lead in set number 2.
There's appeared to be some confusion there on the front line between Bulow and Minor if the ball was going to come down on their side or the Eagles' side, and that led to the point for the Crusaders.
Serve from number 12 is set by Reagan Heflin and hit over by Lane Bulow. That ball bounced off the speaker and will be passed and hit over, and that will be a kill shot for the Crusaders as the Crusaders now lead by 2, one of the largest lead margins here in set number 2, as this has truly been a very close set. The Eagles really look to turn things around after that points, and that ball will go out of bounds, and that might be the turning point that the Eagles needed.
Way too strong of a serve there by the Crusaders, and then I'll bring back Bulow, team leader and aces, to serve.
Bulow with a great serve over the net. Passed around by the Crusaders and blocked at the net by the Eagles. That'd be another block at the net by the Eagles, and the Crusaders still trying to get that ball over, and that would be a point for the Eagles. The Eagles will tie the game at 10.
And that point was set up by the blocks of Bailey Minor and Sarah Weber. Great play there by the front line that led to the Eagles getting right back into this game and tying it up.
Bulow back to serve once again. That's going to be hit, passed, and hit over by the Crusaders. Hit from Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin, and Bailey Henner will get the ball over the net. It's going to be set by the Crusaders and hit over, blocked at the front line by Bailey Minor. Passed around by the Crusaders and hit over. Sarah Weber with the set to Reagan Heflin. Will set it back to Weber, and Weber will have a huge kill shot over the net that barely makes it inbounds. Huge momentum shift for the Eagles as they lead 11-10 here in set number 2.
Great play there by Weber. That's her second kill in the night, and she's really playing well for the Eagles.
Number 9, Bulow will be back to serve, but number 3, Lily Watkins, the libero for the Crusaders, will have a word with one of the referees, and the referee will call the line judge over. I believe the Crusaders may be challenging this call once again. In set number 1, the Crusaders did challenge a call that the referees made, and it did get overturned, so we'll see what the call is from the referees here.
It looked like that ball was in from our vantage point, but the line judge will have the best view on it. But I can't tell if that's what they're discussing or not.
And it appears the referees will let that call stand, and that point will stay with Fort Bend Christian Academy. Number 9, the freshman Lane Bulow will be back to serve once again. Serve from Bulow makes it over the net. That's going to be passed around by the Crusaders and tipped over. Set from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Bailey Minor. Bailey Minor with another huge kill shot. That's her 5th on the night. Just a great night for that front line of Sarah Weber and Bailey Minor. And Bailey Minor has just been absolutely fantastic for the Eagles.
All 3 of the Eagles' front line members have been on fire.
Lane Bulow with the serve over the net. It's 25. 25 will hit it over, and that will be inbounds for the Crusaders as they inch closer to the Eagles' lead. Eagles lead 12-11 here in set number 2.
Great hit over there by the Crusaders. The Eagles have no chance to get to that, but the Eagles still lead here 12-11.
Number 3, Lily Watkins back to serve. Hit by Lane Bulow, set to Reagan Heflin, and tipped over by Bailey Minor, and that will be a great point for the Eagles. As it appears, number 8, Avery Hodge, will be back to serve. Number 10, Bailey Minor, will check out of the game for sophomore Oyen Consola as she checks in. Libero will be back to serve.
Officials timeout here as the officials looking to get something right with the score and the scorekeeper's table. He's all good to go now as Hodge will be back to serve.
Serve from Hodge makes it over the net. Passed around by the Crusaders and finally hit over. Hit from Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin, who will hit it to Bailey Hanner, who will just punch it over the net. That's going to be set from Heflin to Hodge, and Hanner will have a huge hit that is blocked by the Crusaders, but unfortunately winds up out of bounds. That'll be another point for the Eagles. The Eagles lead 14-11 here in set number 2.
This is tied for the Eagles, the largest lead they've had all night.
Avery Hodge with a great serve over the net, and that's her second ace tonight. That is a true momentum shift for the Eagles as the Crusaders will be forced to take a timeout, and we'll take a timeout with them. We'll be right back.
welcome back, folks. Eagles lead here 15-11 here in this second set as the Crusaders took the first set.
Avery Hodge back to serve, and that serve will have too much on it. Avery Hodge has had some serving problems today as he has had two make it into the net, and that one goes out of bounds. Number 5, Calatufto will be back to serve for the Crusaders. Serve from Tufto is hit by Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin, and Reagan Heflin will hit it to Owen Consola, who has a huge hit over the net. Passed by the Crusaders and finally returned. Lane Bulow with a hit. Set to Reagan Heflin and hit over by Bailey Hanner softly. That's going to be passed by the Crusaders. Number 11, who will have a huge hit over, and that ball is blocked by the front line of Owen Consola and Sarah Weber, and that will be a point for the Eagles as the Eagles pull away here in set number 2 with a score of 16-12.
Number 1, Hadley Hodge is checking in here for Sarah Weber. She'll be back to serve for the Eagles, the younger sister of senior Avery Hodge.
The referees will have a bit of deliberation as they may have been wiping off the court just a little bit. Hodge back to serve. Great serve from Hodge. Passed by the Crusaders, set and hit over, and that ball will be out of bounds off the net. And the Eagles will take a 5-point lead here in set number 2.
Eagles with their largest lead of the night, 5. They did not have a lead of any kind of this sort in the first set.
Hodge with a serve over. That's going to be immediately passed and returned by the Crusaders. And returned by the Eagles. What a miraculous play. That's going to be set and hit over by the Crusaders. Blocked at the front line. Set and tipped over. Hit from Bailey Hanner, and that ball is going to fall. Unfortunately, the Eagles cannot get to that, making the score 17-13.
Eagles players were diving all over the court trying to get to that ball, and no one could seem to come up with it off the pass from Bailey Hanner.
And Crusaders end the Eagles' little streak of victories. And the Eagles were on a huge point streak right there as they're now lead by 4. Crusaders with the serve. Hit from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin. Bailey Hanner will hit it over. That's going to be passed around by the Crusaders and hit by Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin. Reagan Heflin will set it to Bailey Hanner, and Bailey Hanner will hit it over. Set and hit over by, no, that ball cannot be returned by the Crusaders as the Eagles now lead 18-13, just 7 points away from closing this set out.
Eagles have really flipped the switch here midway through the second set, and they have found something that's working, and they're really starting to take advantage of the Crusaders.
Number 20, Bailey Hanner back to serve. Hanner with the serve over the net, and barely returned by the Crusaders, and they will cross the line, and that will be another point for the Eagles. Bailey Hanner will be back to serve once again. The Eagles just 6 points away now from closing out this set, and the Crusaders will take a timeout. With that timeout, we will be right back.
And we are back here. Eagles lead here 19-13 in this second set. Eagles lost the first set of a score 26-24.
Hanner with the serve over. Crusaders with a bit of a hard time returning that, but they will return it nonetheless. Hanner with a hit to Heflin, who hits it back to Hanner, and Hanner with a great hit over, and the Crusaders cannot return that. Eagles now within 5 points of closing out this set if they have really pulled away from the Crusaders.
Largest lead tonight, the Eagles 7 points. Eagles really have got the Crusaders' number here in the second set, looking to tie it up 1-1.
And a much better outing from the Eagles here in set number 2 as Hanner will serve once again, a hard serve over the net. And the Crusaders will return that, and that ball will not be returned by the Eagles as a hit from Bailey Hanner sends that ball out of bounds. The Crusaders looking to close this lead just a little bit as they are down by 6 here in set number 2.
That ball went soaring into the and almost went into the basketball hoop that's all the way folded up onto the ceiling.
Number 13, Villalobos back to serve for the Crusaders, and that ball will go out of bounds as the Eagles now within 4 points of closing out this set. Number 8, Avery Hodge will check out of the game along with number 11, Oyen Consola, as number 10, Bailey Miner will check back into the game, and number 6, Laney Brown will be back to serve. Brown with the serve over. Passed around by the Crusaders and barely hit over. That was a great play from the Crusaders. Hit by kill shot there from Bailey Hanner. She has just turned it on in this set. That is her 6th kill of the night, and she has just been so good for the Eagles. Both Bailey Hanner and Bailey Miner contributing very much to this Eagles team, and they've been big parts of the Eagles' success.
That kill right there makes it 450 kills on the season for Hanner.
Laney Brown with the serve over, and that's going to be returned by the Crusaders. Pass from Hodge to Heflin, and Bailey Miner with a huge hit over. Pass by the Crusaders, tipped over and hit from Hadley Hodge to Heflin. Bailey Hanner will hit it over, and unfortunately that ball will go out of bounds. Crusaders now down 15-22 late in set number 2.
Eagles just need 3 points to close out this second set. They can't get sloppy. They've got to keep doing what they've been doing all the second set. They can't let this Crusaders team get any hope and get back into it.
Rainey Clark back to serve for the Crusaders. Pass from Hadley Hodge to Reagan Heflin. A huge hit over from Bailey Miner that will go high almost into the ceiling. And almost returned by the Crusaders, and the Eagles cannot get to that. Crusaders really looking to close this lead just a little bit as they're down 22-16 here in set number 2. Clark once again back to serve. Clark with the serve. Pass from Hodge to Heflin. Hit by Lane Bulow in a spot where nobody is, and that was a great kill shot from Lane Bulow, just a freshman.
Wayne Bulow's first kill of the night. She's had a relatively quiet night. She's usually one of the best players for the Eagles, racking up kills, aces, blocks, everything for the Eagles. And she's had a relatively quiet night, but that may just be the play to get her started.
She's definitely a leader for this Eagles team, and that serve from Heflin goes off the net and barely makes it over. A huge serve from Reagan Heflin right there as the Eagles just 1 point away from closing out this second set and tying this game. Heflin with the serve. And tipped over by Sarah Weber after the return. And hit from Bailey Miner. And the Eagles are going to take the second set with a score of 25-16. Wow, just a great set there from Fort Bend Christian Academy to close out this set. The Eagles now tied with the Crusaders 1-1 in this game. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back, folks, to tonight's production of the volleyball game between Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles and the St. Michael's Crusaders. In case you missed it, the St. Michael's Crusaders took the set number 1 by a score of 26-24, and the Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles came back and won set number 2 by a score of 25-16. Number 25 will be back to serve for the Crusaders. Hit from Hadley Hodge to Reagan Heflin, and a huge hit from Bailey Hanner that will go out of bounds. And that will be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy to start off this set.
That's Hanner's 7th kill of the night, as she is continuing to build on her 1,000 career kills for the Eagles that she got nearly a month and a half ago. So she's definitely over 1,100 kills now.
Heflin back to serve for the Eagles. Passed by the Crusaders and finally returned. Hit from Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Bailey Hanner. Bailey Hanner hits it off the net, and that will be another point for Fort Bend Christian Academy as the Crusaders cannot return that. Eagles up to a 2-0 lead early on in this set.
Eagles really starting out hot here, and that's exactly what they need to try and take the lead here.
Heflin back to serve once again for the Eagles. That serve will make it over the net after being passed around by the Crusaders. Hit, and Bailey Hanner reaches for that ball and unfortunately goes out of bounds.
That ball appeared to be going right towards Buell, and Hanner stepped in the way of it and hit it out of bounds. That should have been a ball that went to Buell.
Rare miscommunication there from the Eagles, especially in that second set. They were so good at playing together. Number 12 with the serve. Hit over by Bailey Hanner, and that ball goes soaring out of bounds.
That ball nearly goes into the stands and almost hits a couple of the spectators.
Crusaders tie the game here at 2. Serve to Bailey Hanner, hit by Lane Bulow and returned by Sarah Weber. Pass from Heflin to Sarah, and Bailey Hanner with a huge return. Reagan Heflin gets it over. Huge hit and blocked at the front line by the Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles, but that ball lands on their side, and that'll be another point for the Crusaders.
Great play there by the Eagles, diving all over the court trying to get that ball. Fortunately, that point ended up going to the Crusaders, but great effort there by the Eagles.
Serve from number 12 goes to Bulow, and a return from the Eagles falls out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Crusaders. The Crusaders have won 4 straight points here in this set.
Crusaders starting to get on a roll of their own here, looking to negate that momentum the Eagles gained in the second set.
Number 12 back to serve once again to Hanner. Hanner passes it to Heflin. Heflin passes it back to Hanner, and Hanner with a kill shot for the Eagles. That is number 8 on the night for Bailey Hanner.
Hanner leads the team with 8 kills, closely followed by Miner with 5, Sarah Weber with 2, and Bulow with 1.
Great teamwork tonight from the Eagles, especially in that second set. You saw them play so well as a team. They look to do that again here in set number 3. Hanner serves, passed around by the Crusaders, and returned. Passed from Heflin to Hodge to Lane Bulow, who hits it over, and that's going to be touched by the Crusaders. They have a difficult time returning it, but the ball does make it back over. Hanner passes to Heflin. Heflin passes it to Oyenkinsola, who hits it out of bounds. That'll be another point for the Crusaders. The Crusaders lead 5-3.
Crusaders have really owned the Eagles here, scoring 5-1 here for the Eagles. The Eagles really going to need to start passing the ball better and taking some easy kill shots to get back in this one.
Number 3, Lily Watkins back to serve, and that serve's going to go into the net for the Crusaders. Eagles now within 1 point of the Crusaders' lead. As it appears, number 6, Lainey Brown will check in to serve.
Brown's one of the best servers on the team. She comes in exclusively to serve, and she'll come right back out once she's not serving. So let's see how long the Eagles can sustain the momentum with her serving.
Brown's serve makes it over the net. Pass from Libero to number 25. And the Crusaders hit it over from... Oh, and that's going to be returned by Lane Bulow, and they're going to say that Bulow crossed the line. That's going to be another point for the Crusaders after the violation from the Eagles. And once again, Lainey Brown will check back out of the game. Number 5, Calatufto back to serve for the Crusaders. Hit from Bailey Hanner to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Sarah Weber, and that ball goes out of bounds. Eagles looking to find some momentum here in this set.
Crusaders now up 3 points over the Eagles, and they've really captured momentum since the Eagles raced out to a 2-0 start.
Eagles looking to turn it around on this point right here as Tufto is back to serve once again. Serve makes it over the net. Pass from Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Bailey Miner, and that's another kill shot from Bailey Miner, her 6th on the night.
And both the Baileys tonight have combined for 14 kills. A lot of points there coming from the Miners. 2 great players and the tallest players on the team.
Serve from Hadley Hodge makes it over the net and tipped over. And return from Reagan Heflin. Oh, and they tip it over, and the Eagles can't get to that. Completely caught Avery Hodge and the rest of this Eagles team off guard.
Eagles were not expecting to tip over at that time, and that caught them off guard, and they were out of position there. And the Crusaders get another easy point there. Make the score 8-5.
And that's just a great play from the Crusaders. Eagles could not get to that ball. Number 11 will be back to serve. And that ball does not make it over the net, and that will be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy. Score is 6-8 as the Crusaders lead in set number 3. Number 9, Lane Bulow back to serve. Serve makes it over the net, passed from libero to number 8, and a huge hit over goes out of bounds on Fort Bend Christian Academy's side, and that will be a point for your Eagles, as the Eagles are only down by 1 point now, a score of 7-8. Bulow passes it, serves it over, passed around by the Crusaders, and hit over by number 11, hit from Bailey Hanner to Reagan Heflin, who serves it for Hanner, and Hanner with another huge kill shot, number 9 on the night, and that was a beautiful play from the Eagles.
Huge kill there by Hanner, as the Eagles have really staged a comeback here, and that's exactly what the Eagles need. They've tied the game now at 8 apiece.
Lane Bulow back to serve once again for your Eagles. Serve makes it over the net, passed from libero to number 8, and hit over by the Crusaders to Lane Bulow, who passes it to Reagan Heflin, and Bailey Hanner with another huge kill from Bailey Hanner. The Crusaders could not return that, and that will be another point for Fort Bend Christian Academy. Bailey Hanner has really come alive here in these later sets of this game. Number 9, Lane Bulow back to serve once again. And the Crusaders unable to return that ball, as the Eagles have truly pulled away from the Crusaders. They have all the momentum right now, and St. Michael's will take a timeout, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, Eagles fans. Your Eagles have a 10-8 lead here in set number 3. This game is tied at a score of 1-1. Really been a back-and-forth matchup all game, but the Eagles have the momentum right now. Lane Bulow serves it over and returned by the Crusaders. Oh, and no, they're going to say that was out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Eagles, it appears. The referees will have a little bit of a deliberation. And the Eagles did trail by a pretty good number early on in this set. And they've truly come alive, and I believe that will stand as a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy.
Eagles are going to redo that point.
Lane Bulow back to serve once again, and that ball goes out of bounds. Crusaders now within 1 point after the redo. Number 13, McKenna Villalobos back to serve for the Crusaders once again. Serve over by Villalobos, goes to Lane Bulow, who passes to Heflin, and Miner with a huge tap over, and the Crusaders able to return. Hodge passes to Heflin, who passes to Hanner, and Hanner with a huge hit over that the Crusaders cannot return. That's Bailey Hanner's 10th kill on the night, and the Eagles maintain their momentum. Number 8, Avery Hodge back to serve.
Hannah's really come alive, showing her senior leadership, and it's really provided help and really given the spark for the Eagles to stay in this match.
Hodge with a great serve that the Crusaders cannot return as the ball goes into the net. The Eagles now lead 12-9 in set number 3. Hodge with another great serve, passed around by the Crusaders, and that ball goes sailing out of bounds on the return. Eagles now lead 13-9 as all the momentum is obviously with Fort Bend Christian Academy. The Crusaders looking to shift the momentum back their direction. Hodge with a great serve over, passed around and tipped over by number 11. Avery Hodge with a great save and a huge kill from number 20, Bailey Hanner. She has just been so good, and the Crusaders, unable to find momentum, will take yet another timeout, and we'll be right back with them.
And we are back here in this third set. Eagles lead here 14-9, tied 1-1. So this third set will decide who can really grab the momentum for the rest of the game.
Hodge with a serve over that is immediately returned and hit over by Bailey Hanner. Eagles with all of the momentum right now. The crowd is truly getting involved, and the student section has come alive tonight. And the Crusaders out of timeouts after they took 2 very quick timeouts back-to-back midway through the set. Avery Hodge back to serve once again. That's a great serve from Hodge that the Crusaders are able to return. Pass from Hadley Hodge and tipped over from Reagan Heflin. Heflin with a huge hit over, and the Crusaders can't return it. Another point from the Eagles as they are on a streak right now. The Eagles now lead by 7 points. The score is 16-9 here in set number 3.
Reagan Heflin not one to get kills often, but that was a huge play there by her to get a kill, her first kill of the night. Eagles have all the momentum here in this third set.
Hodge with a serve, the Crusaders struggling to return, and they will get it over. Pass from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin, who sets it for Bailey Hanner. Hanner's kill is returned. Heflin with another hit to Bailey Hanner. That ball goes under the net and will be another point for the Eagles. The Eagles now lead 17-9. The Crusaders with no more timeouts.
Eagles really pulling away here, up by 8 points. Just 8 points away from closing out this third set.
Hodge with a serve that goes over the net. Passed by the Crusaders and a hit over eventually. Hadley Hodge's attempt at a return unfortunately misses, and the Crusaders will end the Eagles' little run that they had.
The Eagles really gained a lot of momentum and a lot of separation there in that little run that they had, and that may just be enough to close out this third set, but knowing how well the Crusaders have played all night, it's probably not enough.
Rainey Clark back to serve. Hit from Hodge to Hanner, and that ball's returned by the Eagles. Set and tipped over eventually. Lane Bueller with a hit to Avery Hodge. To Bailey Hanner, who hits it over. Oh, that ball drops! Crusaders unable to return it, and that will be another point for Fort Bend Christian Academy as the Eagles now lead by 8 and are just 7 points away from closing out this third set.
Crusaders have lost all kinds of momentum and communication with each other, have not been able to get into position, the formations that they need to really set up and deceive the Eagles' attacks.
Reagan Heflin back to serve. Crusaders will pass it around. Oh, and it's blocked at the net by the Eagles, and the Crusaders cannot return. A great game on the front line tonight from Owen Consola, Sarah Weber, and Bailey Hanner.
Heflin back to serve, fresh off her kill, a couple points, looking to pick up an ace.
Heflin with the serve that makes it over the net, returned by the Crusaders. goes to Lane Beulah, who passes to Reagan Heflin. And Bailey Hanner with a tool over the net. And Hanner with a huge hit over that is returned. Lane Beulah with a pass to Sarah Weber. Avery Hodge will hit it over, and that will go out of bounds, unfortunately. Just a little too much power on that hit over. The Eagles still with a comfortable 8-point lead in set number 3.
Eagles just 6 points out from taking this second set. They can start to feel it. They just got to stay calm in their fundamentals and their roots and know exactly what they got to do.
Eagles looking to stay disciplined here late in this set. Number 23 back to serve for the Crusaders. Heflin will pass it to Beulah. Beulah with a hit over. Crusaders pass it around and finally make it back over the net. Beulah passes to Heflin. And Sarah Weber finally gets it over. Crusaders pass it around. And 11 with a hit over that falls. And the Eagles lost a little bit of momentum here. Still up by 7 points. The Crusaders look to get back in this game.
Eagles still lead here by 7 points, but they cannot count out the Crusaders. The Crusaders have proved they can put up points in bunches.
And once again, just a super back-and-forth game early on. Eagles have pulled away as of late. The serve goes to Hanner, and Hanner returns it, and the Crusaders just spike it on the ground where no Eagle is. Score now is 19-13. FBCA leads.
Crusaders tipped it over where no Eagle defender was anywhere in the vicinity. Just a smart heads-up play by the Crusaders.
And the Crusaders serve goes into the net, and the Crusaders now on a little run of their own, and the Eagles will take a timeout. We'll be right back. Both teams back on the court late here in set number 3. Fort Bend Christian Academy leads 19-14. Number 23 for the Crusaders back to serve after the timeout. Serve goes to Bailey Hanner, who passes to Reagan Heflin. Hanner with a huge hit over, but that ball is out of bounds, and that will be another point for the Crusaders. The Crusaders inching closer to the Eagles' lead as they're within 4 now.
Eagles at one point were up by 9. Now they're only up by 4 here.
And that serve goes out of bounds. That serve just had too much power on it. The Eagles will be back on the attack as number 20, Bailey Hanner, will be back to serve. The Eagles is 5 points away from closing out this set. Hanner with a great serve that goes into the net. Rare miss from Bailey Hanner right there. She has been spot on all night. That serve definitely looked like it was going over, and unfortunately just went into the net. Number 3, Lily Watkins back to serve for the Crusaders. Pass from Avery Hodge, Sarah Weber, and a return by Reagan Heflin. A miraculous play passed around by the Crusaders and tipped over. Avery Hodge with a great diving play that's hit over by Reagan Heflin. The Crusaders pass it around, and huge hit results in a point for the Crusaders. The Crusaders now within 3 points of Fort Bend Christian, just 8 points away from winning this set. The Eagles within 5. Number 3 back to serve. Hit from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin, who gives it to Bailey Hanner, and that ball is out of bounds. The Eagles need some momentum back if they are looking to close out this third set. Truly a back-and-forth matchup here tonight.
Eagles only up by 2 points now as the Crusaders have made this third set definitely a game.
Watkins to serve. Pass goes from Bailey Hanner to Heflin. Hit by Lane Beulah, makes it over the net. Set by number 21 and hit over by the Crusaders, and that will be a point for St. Michael's as they are within 1 point of Fort Bend Christian Academy. The Eagles will take their second timeout of this set. We'll take a short break with them. As both teams return to the court, number 3, Lily Watkins, will be back to serve for the Crusaders. That serve goes into the net. Just maybe the momentum shift that Fort Payne Christian Academy needed to close out this set. We'll see what we can do as number 6, Lainey Brown, will be back to serve for the Eagles, as libero number 8, Avery Hodge, will take a short break. Brown serves it over. It's going to be passed around and tipped over by the Crusaders, and the Eagles won't be able to get to that as number 8, libero Avery Hodge, will check back into the game for number 6, Lainey Brown.
This set's been back and forth as the Eagles race out to an early lead, and the Crusaders have come roaring back to make this close in the final couple points.
Number 5, Cala Tufto, back to serve, and off the face of Lane Bulow, and the Eagles cannot return it, and the Crusaders have tied this set at 21. Really a back and forth matchup.
Eagles starting to fall apart here late in this third set. Really need to find some momentum and a spark. Crowd is trying to provide that for them.
Eagles looking to stay disciplined here as number 5, Tufto, serves to Hannah, who passes to Heflin. Minor with a huge kill shot, and that may have just flipped the switch for the Eagles. Number 10, Bailey Minor, with her 7th kill of the night, and those chants coming from the crowd that she is just a freshman playing such a big role on this team. Number 1, Hadley Hodge, back to serve. That serve will make it over the net after being passed around by a crew of Crusaders, will be returned. Bailey Hanner passes to Heflin. Heflin tips to Bailey Minor, tips it over the net. Great return from Hadley Hodge to Lane Bulow. Lane Bulow makes it over the net. After being set by the Crusaders, they will get a kill shot and a point, tying the game at 22.
3 points to win for both teams. It's going to come down to the wire, just like the first set did. St. Michael's won the first close set. Let's see if the Eagles can take control of this second close set they've had tonight.
Number 11 back to serve for St. Michael's. Pass from Hodge to Heflin. Lane Bulow with an attempt at a hit over, but is blocked at the front line by St. Michael's.
All momentum is with the Crusaders now. They have been on an absolute tear.
The Crusaders back to serve. Once again, the Eagles look to stop this momentum that the Crusaders have. Pass from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin. Hit over by Bulow. Crusaders able to return. Hit from Bailey Hanner goes off the ceiling. Oh, and they'll return it. Crusaders pass it around. And it'll be tipped over, and the Eagles can't get to it, and the Crusaders are within 1 point of closing out this set.
Crusaders just 1 point away. Let's see if the Eagles can roar back and score 4 straight to win this set. But all the momentum is with the Crusaders. The Eagles just seem to be helpless here.
Crusaders serve goes into the arms of Avery Hodge. Lane Bulow tips it over. Bailey Minor gets it back over the net. Eagles looking to regroup. Oh, and that'll be 4 touches by the Crusaders, and the Eagles will take another point.
Crusaders one of the Crusaders just seem to not be thinking. They should have known to hit the ball over. They're trying to set up another kill.
Bulow back to serve. Serve will make it over the net. And it will be hit and blocked at the net by Bailey Minor, tying the game at 24. And this set will be decided by who can win 2 points in a row now.
This crowd is really starting to feel it here. It's going to be an exciting end to this third set.
Bulow with the serve over. Passed by the Crusaders and barely hit him. Oh, and that'll be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy as the Crusaders just get lost in the point right there, as that will be 4 touches. They couldn't make it over the net. The Crusaders will make some substitutions. The Eagles just 1 point away now from closing out this set. They look to do it here as Bulow is back to serve. Bulow serve makes it over the net, and that will be a point for the Eagles, a point that they needed to close out this set. That was a huge comeback from the Crusaders after being down by 9 points to send this set into extra points, but the Eagles will take a 2-1 set lead here in this game.
We'll definitely look back here on that moment in this third set where the Eagles had the lead. The Crusaders came roaring back and took the lead, and the Eagles came all the way back down from quite a few points with no momentum to win the third set. That could be what ended up deciding the entire match.
I agree, Jackson. That was a huge victory for the Eagles. And in between these sets, we'll take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, Eagles fans, and in case you missed it, the Eagles did take the third set with a score of 26-24, similar to how the Crusaders took the first set with the same score of 26-24. The Eagles now lead here in this game with 2-1. Jackson, what was important for the Eagles' 2 victories in the previous 2 sets? What did they do different from what they did in the first set?
They really started passing the ball a lot better, setting up their big-time players to get kills and really making nice assists and sets from Shea Stone and Reagan Heflin. Really led to easy points, and that's what the Eagles have got to keep doing in order to stay in this game and win this third set.
And we've seen some big-time performances tonight from Bailey Hanner and Bailey Miner. How have they contributed to this team so far?
Kills. On the front line, kills is what they've been known for. Miner has 7 and Hanner's got 13, just 20 combined between them. Huge impact by both of them.
And there's Miner again, just like we were talking about, with another kill. Little tap over the net. And that will give the Eagles an early lead and some early momentum as number 8, Avery Hodge, will be back to serve. The Eagles look to pull away early in this set. And Hodge, with her 4th missed serve of the game, 3 of her serves have gone into the net, 1 out of bounds.
Hodge has had a hot and cold night. She's had 3 serves go into the net, yet she's had 2 aces. Got to find that happy medium and consistently get some serves in.
And she has definitely made an impact all around the court, diving everywhere, and she does that every game. Serve from the Crusaders going to be passed around by the Eagles, and a huge hit over from Bailey Miner will result in a point for the Eagles. Number 1, Hadley Hodge, will check into the game for number 2, Sarah Weber. Hadley will be back to serve. Both sisters on the court here for the Eagles. Hodge back to serve once again. It's going to be passed around by the Crusaders and hit over. Avery Hodge with a pass to Heflin. Heflin passes to Miner, tips it over. That ball is returned from the Crusaders. The Crusaders look to return. Hodge passes to Heflin, who passes to Miner. Miner with a great hit over. Crusaders look to return, and Avery Hodge does get the ball up, but unfortunately out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Crusaders as they tie it. The score is 2-2.
I imagine we'll see a back-and-forth contest as the Crusaders are on their last straw, needing to win the last 2 sets to advance their season. The Eagles needing 1 more set to advance to the next round.
Number 5, Calla Tufto, back to serve for the Crusaders. Serve makes it over the net. Pass from Hodge to Heflin. To Lane Bulow, who hits it over. Number 8 passes to Calla, who does not make it over the net, and that will be a point for your Eagles, making the score 3-2.
The Eagles can start to feel that this game is really within striking distance and within reach. They've got to start building some momentum to put this game away from the Crusaders.
Bulow's serve is returned by the Crusaders, and on the return, ball barely goes out of bounds. Might have hit the line.
That ball appeared to be in from my vantage point. Interesting call there by the line judge.
Lane Bulow with the serve, and that ball will not be returned. That would be an ace for Lane Bulow. Her first of the night. Relatively quiet night, like you said, Jackson, from the young freshman. She has just played such a critical part of this team's success early in the season.
And you usually never see her come out of the games. Her and Bailey Hanner stayed almost the entire game. Such all-around great players for the Eagles.
Bulow serves, and that ball is passed around by the Crusaders and finally hit into the net by the Crusaders. The score is now 6-2 in favor of Fort Bend Christian Academy. Eagles have all the momentum right now as they look to close out this set. Bulow with the serve over. Set by the Crusaders and tipped over, and unfortunately the Eagles can't get to that one. That would be a point for the Crusaders. Eagles just caught off balance with that play from the Crusaders. They've been doing that all night. They'll change from hard hit over to just a tap over. Serve goes to Bulow. Bulow passes to Heflin, and Hanner with a huge hit over. And the Crusaders barely able to, and they're not able to return that as they touch the ball 4 times. The Eagles now lead 7-3.
Lainey Brown will check in from Miner. She'll come in to serve. Brown, a great server for the Eagles, but she's had a couple issues with foot faults, looking to make sure to keep her feet behind the line here.
Brown with the serve. Passed around by the Crusaders. Huge hit from Hadley Hodge to Lane Bulow. Lainey Brown will make it over the net. Set by the Crusaders, and a huge hit from Lane Bulow to keep the ball in the air. Set by Heflin. Hit over from Lane Bulow. And that ball will be returned by the Crusaders and hit from Hodge to Heflin. And Bailey Hanner almost with a huge kill. Reagan Heflin returns that, and blocked at the front line by Bailey Hanner with a great play by number 20. She has just played such a critical part of the Eagles' success tonight. And it appears the referee may have some deliberation with the coach for St. Michael's, maybe thinking Bailey Hanner reached over.
And you can really see the emotion starting to come out from the Eagles, especially from Bailey Hanner after that huge block.
Lainey Brown with a great serve over. And that ball will be hit by Hadley Hodge to Lane Bulow, and Bailey Hanner will hit that into the net. She's trying to do a little too much right there. Score is now 8-4 Eagles.
Brown will come out after her stint of serving as Avery Hodge will check back into the game for your Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles.
Number 13, Villalobos back to serve for the Crusaders. Hit by Hadley Hodge, and Avery will not be able to return that as that ball got lost in the ceiling. Crusaders looking to close this lead as they are down by 3 here in set number 4. Villalobos back to serve once again for the Crusaders. She'll get a quick word from her coach. And here's a serve that goes into the net. Eagles now lead 9-5 as the Eagles do have some momentum. Number 2, Sarah Weber will check in for number 1, Hadley Hodge. Heflin back to serve for the Eagles. And a powerful serve there from Heflin that will go out of bounds.
One thing to note, I saw Stone on the bench talking with the trainer. It appears that she may not return for the game. She hasn't been in for quite a while for the Eagles.
That is correct, Jackson. She has been out for quite some time. Don't really know what's going on there, but the Crusaders will get another point on the serve as it just bounces off of Avery Hodge. The Eagles can't return that ball. Eagles now lead 9-7. Number 21, Hannah Bergfeld back to serve, and that ball goes out of bounds in favor of the Eagles. And I believe that ball may have hit a camera and knocked it down. Eagles lead 10-7 here in set number 4. Bailey Hanner back to serve for the Eagles once again. Hanner with a serve that goes over the net and out of bounds. That'll be a streak of serves that have gone out of bounds on both sides of the ball. Number 12, Maura Mooney, will be back to serve for the Crusaders. Mooney serves to Hodge, who passes to Heflin, and that ball cannot make it over the net. Another point for the Crusaders.
Miscue there by Heflin as she set the ball and tried to pass it to the wrong person who was not ready. Passed it to the outside when she should have passed it to the inside.
Mooney back to serve once again. That's going to be from Bailey Hanner to Heflin and hit over by Lane Bulow. Great hit there from number 9. Passed around by the Crusaders and blocked at the front line by Sarah Weber. A great block for the Eagles, and that's going to really shift the momentum.
Front line has been doing work tonight for the Eagles, getting multiple blocks, and it's really made some easy points for the Eagles and kept them in this game and gotten them this lead that they have.
And back on the front line is number 10, Bailey Miner. Avery Hodge will be back to serve. Crusaders will pass it around and tip it over, and the Eagles can't get back to it. Crusaders now within 1 point. It is 11-10, Fort Bend Christian Academy.
Close here in this 4th set. Crusaders not willing to go away, trying to force a 5th set here.
Number 3, libero, Lily Watkins back to serve. Pass from Bailey Hanner to Reagan Heflin. Bailey Miner with a huge play. Pass around by the Crusaders, and that's going to be tipped over once again by the Crusaders to tie the game, and the Eagles cannot respond to the tip over by the Crusaders that has killed them so many times this game.
Crusaders have really used that tip play to their advantage tonight. It's really gotten hold of the Eagles.
And that serve goes off the arm of Avery Hodge, and all momentum is now with St. Michael's as they've taken the lead 12-11 here in set number 4. Watkins back to serve once again for the Crusaders. Hits off the net, and Bailey Hanner can get to it. Pass from Heflin goes to Miner, and Miner hits into the net. And Minor will get another kill shot for the Eagles on her second attempt to tie this game at 12.
9 kills now for Minor. She's had a great game. And there's been 22 kills now between Minor and Hanner. Both the Baileys doing work on the offensive end for the Eagles.
Number 1, Hadley Hodge will check back into the game. She'll be back to serve. Serve makes it over the net. After being passed around, is tipped over by the Crusaders. Returned by the Eagles. Lane Bulow hits inbound. Great placed ball from number 9.
Only Bulow's second kill of the night, but what a play. One of the best kills we've seen all night. Just a perfectly placed ball.
And once again, only her second, but what a time to have that kill at. Really shifting the momentum here for the Eagles. Hodge back to serve once again. Makes it over the net. Passed around by the Crusaders. And a huge hit from the Crusaders goes off the arm of Lane Bulow on the block, and that will be a point for the Crusaders.
Big time kill there by the Crusaders that gets everybody off the Crusaders bench. Really momentum that the Crusaders are looking to have to try and climb back and make this game 2-2.
Calla Tufto back to serve once again for the Crusaders. Serve to Avery Hodge, pass to Reagan Heflin, and Bailey Hanner will hit it over. Crusaders set and hit over. Avery Hodge with a great play. Lane Bulow hits it over for the Eagles. A set goes to number 11, who hits it over, and Avery Hodge cannot return it. A great kill shot from number 11 on the Crusaders to give them the lead.
Crusaders now here with a 14-13 lead. Crusaders not willing to go down without a fight here in this fourth set.
And the Eagles really looking to flip the switch and get this game going back in their favor as they look to close out this game. Tufto serves. Pass from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin to Lane Bulow, who hits it over, and the Eagles cannot return the block. Another point from the Crusaders.
All the momentum here with the Crusaders. They are starting to get on a roll here and really start to get the Crusaders side of the crowd involved.
Thinking the Eagles might take a timeout soon if the momentum doesn't switch back in favor of the Eagles. Calla Tufto back to serve once again for the Crusaders. Hit from Hadley Hodge to Reagan Heflin to Bailey Hanner, who hits it over. Passed around by a sea of Crusaders. That ball cannot make it over the net. Another point for Fort Bend Christian Academy as they inch closer to the lead that the Crusaders have.
Eagles only down by 1 here, despite the Crusaders' momentum. Still not out of this set.
Lane Bulow back to serve for the Eagles. That serve will be returned by the Crusaders. Passed around by a sea of Eagles, and then Hanner with the return. Tipped over, and the Eagles are able to get control once again. Hanner with a huge hit over. The Crusaders return, and they will score, making the lead 16-14 for the Crusaders.
Crusaders side of the crowd really getting involved and really getting loud here. Way to travel all the way from Austin. Almost a 3-hour drive. Still travel well.
Number 11 with a serve, and that's going to be an ace for the Crusaders. Is off the arms of number 1, Hadley Hodge, and that will soar out of bounds. Crusaders now with a 3-point lead, just 8 points away from closing this set out. Number 11 back to serve. Hit by Lane Bulow to Reagan Heflin to Bailey Hanner, who has a great hit over. That's going to be returned by the Crusaders. Hadley Hodge hits it back over. And the Crusaders will not get it back over, and that will be a point for the Eagles. The Crusaders want to say that they reached over, but it wouldn't have mattered either way, as that still did not make it over the net.
Seemed to be a miscue there by the Crusaders. They were expecting just to get bailed out by the refs there, and they did not in that situation. As Laney Brown is back to serve.
Great serve from Brown. Set by 21 and hit over. Hit by Lane Bulow, and Laney Brown is just running the wrong direction after the ball hits the ceiling. Ball changes direction, and Laney cannot get to that ball. Crusaders now lead 18-15 here in set number 4. Serve by the Crusaders goes to Lane Bulow, and Lane Bulow hits it over. Hit over by the Crusaders. Pass from Hadley Hodge to Reagan Heflin to Bailey Hanner, who has a huge kill shot right there. her 14th kill of the night. Her and Bailey Miner have been absolutely fantastic for the Eagles tonight.
Eagles not out of this set yet. Just right, they're staying within striking, and that's all they need to and try to weather this Crusader momentum now.
Reagan Heflin with the serve. It's a short serve. And Hanner with a block on the Crusaders' return. Hanner with a hit to Heflin. Back to Hanner, and Hanner spikes it into the net. Unfortunately, that ball could not make it over. Crusaders now just 6 points away from closing out this set, tying the game at 2.
The Eagles starting to have this game slip away here as they're going to try to stop this Crusader momentum by calling a timeout, and we'll be right back after their timeout.
Welcome back, folks. Fort Bend Christian Academy Eagles down 3 points here in set number 4 as the Eagles have a 2-1 lead. Eagles looking to get some momentum back after the timeout. Crusaders back to serve. Serve goes from Bailey Hanner off the arm, and that's going to be a point for the Crusaders. They're just 5 points away now from closing this set out.
Crusaders not willing to go down without a fight. They're just 5 points away from making this go into a 5th set. Crusaders giving the Eagles all they can handle here.
Bergfeld back to serve once again to Bailey Hanner to Reagan Heflin. And Bailey Hanner with a kill shot. That's her 15th on the night. Cutting down this Crusader lead. The Eagles look to mount a comeback here as they're down 17-20 in set number 4. The Eagles look to close out this game in 4 sets.
Hanner's back to serve for the Eagles as she looks to try and build some momentum and take the lead here for the Eagles with her next couple serves.
Hanner with the serve that makes it over the net. Passed around by the Crusaders and tipped over. Avery Hodge passes it to Reagan Heflin. And Heflin with a huge pass to Bulow. Bulow hits it over. Crusaders will return, and that's going to go out of bounds with the help of the crowd to let Bailey Hanner know that that ball was going out of bounds. The Eagles cut this lead to just 2 points.
The crowd is really starting to get involved on both sides. They can sense the urgency here. The Eagles just looking to close out this game here.
Number 20, Bailey Hanner back to serve once again. Tip over is returned by Reagan Heflin. Pass to Avery Hodge. Lane Bulow with a hit over that is passed around by the Crusaders and returned. Hanner with a set to Heflin, who sets it for Sarah Weber. Sarah Weber hits it over. The Crusaders return. Hanner with a hit to Reagan Heflin, and Heflin passes it to Bulow, and they cannot return the tap over from Lane Bulow. Huge momentum shift for the Eagles as they're within 1 point of the Crusaders' lead.
Back and forth has been the name of this game, and that's exactly how this 4th set is playing out. Looking to see who can come up clutch, and the last couple points will decide this game.
Number 20, Bailey Hanner back to serve once again for the Eagles. The refs do a quick deliberation as number 5, Kala Tufto, will have a quick conference with her coach. She's going to grab a quick sip of water. Eagles will regroup.
Eagles only needing 6 points, while the Crusaders are needing 5 points to close out this game. Eagles are up here 2-1 sets. Eagles needing 1 more set to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
Number 20, Bailey Hanner, back to serve once again for the Eagles. That serve will make it over the net. Crusaders will pass it around. It'll be hit over, and the Eagles cannot return the kill shot from the Crusaders. That's number 12 for the Crusaders. She's been great for them all night, getting several kills on the right side of that court. Serve from number 12 goes to Bailey Hanner, who passes to Heflin. Heflin to Lane Bulow. Bulow hits it over. Passed around by the Crusaders and returned. Hanner with a pass to Heflin. Goes to Oinkinsola. They pass it around and hit over with a huge block at the front line, but it will unfortunately go out of bounds, making another point for the Crusaders.
The Crusaders have all the momentum here as Eagles will call yet another timeout to try and regroup and focus. We'll be back after a quick timeout.
Welcome back, Eagles fans. Fort Bend Christian Academy down 3 points here in set number 4. Eagles looking to climb back in this game, just 6 points away from closing out the game as they lead 2-1. Crusaders not going down without a fight, though, and they'll serve. Hanner passes to Heflin, but that pass cannot be returned. The Crusaders just 2 points away from closing out this set, making it a 2-2 game.
Eagles are going to need a miraculous comeback here to score 6 straight to win this set.
Number 12 with a serve to Hanner. Hanner passes to Heflin. Heflin passes to Oinkinsola. Oinkinsola hits it over. That'll be hit over by Sarah Weber. Passed around by the Crusaders. Hit over and unable to be returned by the Eagles. The Crusaders now just 1 point away from closing out this set.
All signs point here to a fifth set, but don't count out the Eagles. They have a lot of fight in them, and they just need just 1 point to gain some momentum here.
Number 12 with the serve to Bailey Hanner to Reagan Heflin. Lane Bulow with a hit over, and that is inbounds. A great kill shot from there from Lane Bulow. Her fourth kill of the night. Number 8, Avery Hodge, will be back to serve as the Eagles look to win 5 straight points here.
My bad, Mr. Williams.
Hodge with a serve. And unfortunately, that will go out of bounds, and the Crusaders will win the 4th set. Eagles and Crusaders will take on a 5th set. And once again, we are in the playoffs, so it is win or go home. Eagles will take on the Crusaders in a 5th set after a short break.
Welcome back, folks. And we are here in the 5th set. Eagles and Crusaders. Between the Eagles and the Crusaders, the Eagles took sets 2 and 3, while the Crusaders took sets 1 and 4. And we are now entering a 5th set, 1st to 15. It's going to get exciting here in playoff volleyball.
Once again, this has been such a back and forth game. I mean, every set has been a shootout between both teams. I mean, if that's any indication of how this 5th set is going to go, we're in for a good one.
This is exactly why you watch volleyball, for moments like these, and play volleyball. Moments like these, this is what you live for. Playoffs doesn't get much better than this, so folks, do not go anywhere. This is the game right here.
Eagles looking to build some momentum early on in this set. As getting off to an early start is going to be huge for both of these teams, as momentum has been huge in deciding which team has won this game so far. And about 4 sets in, it's been pretty even.
Avery Hodge will be back to serve for the Eagles as the Fort Bend Christian Academy crowd is getting on their feet as they know this is their season if they don't win this.
Hodge serve goes into the net, and that's going to be another missed serve from Avery Hodge. Crusaders jump out to an early 1-0 lead.
Not the start you're looking for if you're the Eagles.
Number 3 for the Crusaders, Lily Watkins back to serve, and that serve is going to go into the net. Back-to-back serves right into the net. This is a whole new game for the Eagles here in set number 5. It is anybody's game to win or go home here and now.
Hadley Hodge back to serve for the Eagles.
Hodge's serve goes over the net, passed and spiked. And Bailey Minor's block cannot be saved by the Eagles. That'll be another point for the Crusaders. They lead 2-1.
Hadley Hodge with the first successful serve of this 5th set as both the first 2 serves were right into the net. We'll see if number 5 for the Crusaders can get the serve over.
Tufto back to serve. It's going to be hit from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin. Bailey Minor will hit it over. Set by 21 and hit over out of bounds. And that'll be a point for the Eagles. And Jackson, this game reminds me a lot of the Second Baptist game that was played just a few weeks ago. Went to the 5th set and it was a back and forth shootout the whole way through. And that's going to be passed and hit over by the Eagles. And that will be a point for Fort Bend Christian Academy as the Eagles did not give up on that ball. And the Crusaders seemed to think that they had won the point.
Crusaders seem to think that the Eagles hit that ball 4 times. And from our vantage point, it definitely looked like they did, as both Hanner and Lily Watkins are at the net talking to the refs, but the point will stay with the Eagles.
Bulow back to serve, and that serve's going to make it over the net. Oh, and it won't be returned by the Crusaders. Another huge point for Fort Bend Christian Academy. Obviously, in a 5th set like this, every point matters. Eagles off to a good start. Number 9, Lane Bulow back to serve once again. And that ball is going to hit the line, and that will be an ace for Lane Bulow, the freshman, number 9, and that is a huge point for the Eagles.
Lane Bulow's second serve on the night, and she's got 84 aces on the season. She leads the team. What a great night for Bulow all around.
Another serve here from Bulow. Make it over the net from libero to 21. Hit over, and that will be on the line. Line judge with the call. From our point of view, it looked like it may have hit the line. Could have gone either way.
That call much dislike of head coach Edwards by the Eagles. No challenge, though, by the
Number
Eagles.
11 back to serve. Pass from Heflin to Hanner. Hanner hits it over. And Hanner will hit it over again. It'll be a huge kill from Bailey Hanner. That is her 16th on the night. Bailey Hanner and Bailey Minor truly making the difference in this game tonight. Number 6, Lainey Brown will check into the game to do the serving, as well as number 11, Oyen Consola checking in for number 10, Bailey Minor on the front lines. Eagles have a 6-3 lead here in set number 5. Brown's serve makes it over the net. And it's going to be hit over, and Bulow will not be able to return that ball as Brown will check back out for Avery Hodge. 6-4 game here in set number 5.
Close, just like we expected. Back and forth between both teams. Just like the first 4 sets, fifth set going the exact same way.
Number 13 back to serve. Pass from Bulow to Heflin. Hanner will hit it over the nets. Set by 21 and hit over from 12. Pass from Bulow to Heflin. Hanner will hit it over once again. It's going to be an awkward set and blocked at the net by Oyen Consola. And the Eagles, or they tip it over and the Eagles are able to return. Hanner with a huge kill. That's number 17 on the night. 2 of her biggest kills coming in clutch moments in set number 5. The Eagles now lead 7-4 as Hadley Hodge will exit the game as Sarah Weber re-enters. Number 7, Reagan Heflin will be back to serve once again.
Eagles just 8 points from closing out this 5th set. They can start to feel.
Heflin with a great serve off the hand of number 11 for the Crusaders. That is a huge ace for Reagan Heflin. The Crusaders will take a short timeout. We'll be right back. Eagles lead 8-4 here in set number 5. Welcome back, folks. Fort Pitt Christian Academy leads 8-4 here in set number 5. Reagan Heflin back to serve for Fort Pitt Christian. Eagles have the momentum right now. Heflin serve makes it over the nets. Set and tipped over by the Crusaders right into the arms of Bailey Hanner, who passes it to Heflin. Hanner with a huge kill, and that's going to be another point for the Eagles. The Eagles just 6 points away from closing out this set, this game, and moving on in playoffs.
Eagles really starting to showcase their talent here in this 5th set, really just starting to pull away. And really, you can see the emotion on the court from the Eagles side. They really just want this 5th set more.
Maggie Lewis will check into the game for the Crusaders. Heflin's serve barely makes it over the net. And after being passed, it's blocked at the net by Oyen Consola and Sarah Weber. A great play from the front line of Fort Pitt Christian Academy as the Eagles lead by 6 points here in the 5th set, just 5 points away from winning this game.
Eagles are just absolutely on a roll here, and they cannot seem to be stopped.
Heflin with the serve over, pass from Hodge to Heflin. Hanner with a huge hit over. Right back to Hodge, who will set it to Heflin. Hanner with a huge hit over, and that is another kill from Bailey Hanner, her 18th on the night, and she has just had a fantastic 5th set of volleyball, and the Crusaders will call their second timeout of the set. We'll be right back. Your Eagles lead 11-4. Welcome back, Eagles fans. Your Eagles take the court once again. Score of 11-4 here in set number 5. The Eagles have a 7-point lead with just 4 points to go from closing out this set, this game, and advancing in playoffs. Number 7, Reagan Heflin, will be back to serve for the Eagles as the clock on this timeout expires. The refs will take their spots, and Heflin will serve once again. Heflin with the serve over. Passed around by the Crusaders and hit over, and Hanner will not be able to get to that ball, and that will be a point for the Crusaders. Score of 11-5.
First point in a long while for the Crusaders, and they're really needing that point to get some momentum back in this 5th set, as they are down by a lot and will need a miracle to come back in this one.
Number 8, Avery Lindsay, will check back into the game for the Crusaders. She'll serve. Pass from Hanner to Heflin, who sets it for Hanner. Hanner with a huge kill shot number 19 on the night, and her third this set, and she can almost taste the victory for the Eagles.
Hannah has really put the team on her back here in this 5th set, really just showing just how talented she is and why she's committed to Texas State.
Number 20, Bailey Hanner, back to serve. That serve makes it over, and almost an ace for the Eagles. Hanner's return is immediately returned by the Crusaders on the ground of Fort Bend Christian Academy. That'll be a point for the Crusaders.
Eagles still just 3 points away. The Crusaders are going to need a huge wave of momentum to stop this Eagle
Just
team
3
now.
points away from victory for the Eagles. Set by Heflin, a huge kill shot from Lane Bueller that won't be returned. And the Eagles just 2 points away now for closing out this game.
Eagles have really made this 5th set no contest. They've really pulled away here, and it has not been close. The Eagles really can taste this victory.
Avery Hodge back to serve. That serve will make it over. Pass from libero to number 8. Hit over. Returned by Sarah Weber. Pass to Reagan Heflin. Bailey Hanner with a hit that goes out of bounds. Scores 13-7. Your Eagles just 2 points away from closing out this game.
Hanner seemed to be practically perfect in this 5th set. Her first probably mistake of this entire 5th set, but she'll absolutely make up for it soon.
Number 3 libero Lily Watkins back to serve for the. No, she will exit the game. I apologize. Number 23 will re-enter the game in order to serve for the Crusaders. Serve goes over the net. Pass from Hanner to Heflin. Sarah Weber hits it over. Passed around by the Crusaders and tipped over. Avery Hodge passes to Reagan Heflin, who sets for Bailey Miner. Bailey Miner with a hit over, and that will be immediately tapped back over, and Bailey Miner with a huge hit. That will go to number 8. Tipped over once again, and Lane Buelow can't get to that ball. And the Crusaders just 5 points away from the Eagles. And we saw them come back in the 3rd set. We see if they can do it again.
Amazing volley between both sides. Crusaders not out of this, but we'll need a lot to win this
back
game.
to serve. Lane Buelow passes to Reagan Heflin. Lane Buelow with a hit over. Pass from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin. Sarah Weber with a huge kill. Avery Hodge passes to Reagan. To Sarah once again. Oh, that ball is going to go out of bounds off the arms of number 8 for the Crusaders, and that will be a point for the Eagles. Just 1 point away now for closing out this set.
Eagles can feel all the momentum as the entire FBCA crowd is on their feet. Teachers, students, parents, everybody alike ready to see the Eagles close out and move on to the playoffs.
Avery Hodge with the serve over. Passed around by the Crusaders. That's going to be hit from Lane Buelow, set by Reagan Heflin. And Lane will tip it over, and that will be a point for the Crusaders. Score 14-9. The Eagles just 1 point away from closing out this game.
Eagles just looking for one last gasp effort, and I'm sure they're going to look to Bailey Hanner here on the kill to set up a sure point.
Number 5, Kala Tufto back to serve. Pass from Avery Hodge to Reagan Heflin, who sets it to Bailey Miner. That will be a point for the Eagles, and the Eagles will win this game, and they will advance in playoffs. What a performance from Fort Bend Christian Academy tonight. Did not give up, stayed disciplined, played as a team, and they emerged victorious tonight.
Eagles played an all-around great game, battling back from down after the first set and really just staying vigilant, staying strong, and really working hard as a team, communicating well. And I think at the end of the day, we can easily call Bailey Hanner the player of the game. She had an absolutely great game, putting the team basically on her back in the 5th set and winning the game for the Eagles.
No doubt. I think she had 4 or 5 kills in the 5th set, just to add on to her 19 total on the night. Honorable mention player of the game has to go to Bailey Miner as well. She had a fantastic game with 9 kills, and she was a menace on the front lines. Overall, just a great team win for Fort Bend Christian Academy, and we'll see what they can do moving on in the playoffs.
Thank you for tuning in, folks. That'll do it all tonight for the Eagles. They'll move on to the next round of the playoffs. We thank you for tuning in. I'm Jackson Champion, joined by
Derek Jordan, signing off.